Greetings, music lovers. Merry Christmas, post-Christmas, and Happy New Year. We're a day and a half away from the new year here in Tennessee. Just got back from a trip to Florida. It's been a long time since I've done a video, and got some new stuff. Picked up a few items down in Florida, had some stuff shipped to me that arrived yesterday, and a few things I wanted to share out. A band that I don't have very much material from, but familiar with a few of the members, and Steve Marriott being one of them. I was able to score a 7-inch single of the Small Faces from, I believe this was 1977, so later day Small Faces. This would be around the time that Marriott was still doing stuff with Humble Pie. This is a German press, two songs that I'm not familiar with, though. Got that for a good price through the mail. And I guess continuing with the Marriott stuff, I've got a Humble Pie, also from Germany, Big Black Dog, which as far as I know was not a song on any of their full-length albums. And then the B-side is Only a Roach, which I believe is a Jerry Shirley song sung by the drummer, which I do believe showed up on one of their early albums, maybe within the first 3 of their albums. And once again, this is another German press, purchased at a very good price, under $10. The record looks like it's barely been played. No marks on it. The sleeve or the insert, no, it is a sleeve. A little beat up, but in pretty good condition. A little bit of ring wear. Next up is a full-length Humble Pie that is still sealed. I've seen this one before, never purchased it. Really not a big fan of the cover. I really don't think the band had any involvement in this. It probably was, it's A&M, and as far as I can tell, this is just has a smattering of songs from, I would say like their first 7 or 8 albums. Might even have a little bit of live stuff from their live album, but it seems to be mostly cover songs. Honky Tonk Woman, I Don't Need No Doctor, I Can't Stand the Rain. There's a few songs that are studio albums from the band, or studio songs from the band, like Hot and Nasty, Shine On, but mostly covers. But was able to get this at, once again, awesome price. I think like $10. It's got hype stickers on it, sealed, little bit of plastic tear here, but who cares? It's perfect on the front. So always happy to have anything with Peter Frampton. According to my parents, my earliest rocking out to music when I was an infant was Peter Frampton Comes Alive. My parents had it, of course, early 70s, mid 70s. It was on vinyl, and my parents said they used to put it on, and I would just rock out to that. So I've grown up appreciating Peter Frampton. Now, I think that gets me through the stuff with Marriott and Frampton. I am always surprised when I come across bands that have slipped past me. This was a band that I think I had heard of, but I never really dove into. I never checked them out. My father didn't listen to them. I hadn't come across any of their music online. I'm talking about the band Horslips from Ireland. Having a lot of Irish in my family tree, I'm always interested in Irish bands. Obviously, my father exposed me to Van Morrison. I've done a lot of purchasing of Thin Lizzy. Have a lot of Thin Lizzy. Definitely not an expert on that band, but in the last 20 years, I've picked up a lot of studio and live stuff from Lizzie, U2, Rory Gallagher, Clannad, the Pogues. I don't just stick with rock or metal Irish bands, but yeah, even some of the more new agey stuff I've gotten into. But Horslips just, I don't know. I was never really exposed to them, wasn't aware of them. So last week when I was in Florida, went to a local music store that I go to every December when I visit family, and they had a few albums of theirs, and I just grabbed one. I figured I would start with that. This is an Irish press, and it is titled Drive the Cold Winter Away, and it is, I guess, kind of their take on a Christmassy type album, but without the traditional Christmas songs. It's, I guess some of it is instrumental. I'm familiar with a few of the songs from some other musicians, but I got this, I think, for just a little over $10. The sleeve is adhesive has kind of come loose a little bit, but the record is in fantastic condition. So this would be the first. Now, of course, having picked this up, I did a search online and started finding some other albums by them, and the company on Discogs that I had gotten, the Humble Pie and the Small Faces 7-inch from, also had a few albums from Horslips. So I was able to purchase 2 7-inches from that same company. This first one, as far as I know, is another track that's exclusive to just a 7-inch. I don't think this was ever on one of their studio albums. This one is More Than You Can Chew. Actually, no, it does say that it was from the Tane, which would, I think, is their second or third album. So this is a 1974 UK press, and the other song, Faster Than the Hound, also from the same album. And I don't believe this was released with a picture sleeve, so I was just purchased it with the generic white sleeve. And this one, a little cooler, also has a not a plain sleeve. This one actually has the band printed on it. It has a printing of all the band members' signatures. The back, it is let's see, Records and Tapes, DJM Records Limited. And what's cool about this one, besides the sleeve being colored, we also have the green, Irish green. And those 2 tracks are The Power and the Glory, which is the A side, and B side, Sir Festus Burke. Both tracks written by Horslips. And from that same company, I was able to find a double live, which I believe is from 1977. And those 2 singles were both Irish pressings. I believe this is another UK. And this is, like I said, double live, gatefold. So having at this point only listened to a few of their tracks online, I'm going to be going into this band cold, but I don't listen to too much music that doesn't connect with me. I mean, once again, I listen to all different types of genres. So some people might think, dude, what are you doing? You're buying up a bunch of music from a band that you don't know. Yeah, but I've done that with many other bands. When I discover something, I dive into it. So this next purchase, some folks probably would be like, dude, you were, maybe a little too quick, but I was afraid this one would either the price would skyrocket or the availability of this next purchase was going to become extremely difficult to get. So I was able to find a decent priced box set through Amazon. and I also had a coupon, saved a little bit of money. So I'm not going to do a full reveal of this and unpacking, because I've seen there's a bunch of them online, but this is a Horslips box set that has all of their albums, all of their live releases, and then probably a day's worth of unreleased live. It's got some of the band members' solo material from later, maybe either late 80s or early 90s, and it's got 2 DVDs and signed photos of all the band members who, up until 2023, all of them were still alive. One of the band members passed away in 2023. So to me, this was a great investment. I'll go ahead and open it up. I am opening it for the first time, but as I said, I'm not going to go through every single thing in here, simply because anybody who's interested, you want to know more about it, you're going to look it up. And so this is all CD and DVD, no vinyl, but comes with a poster of I think a original poster from the 70s. And for those that don't know, this is I guess it would be considered a classic rock, traditional Irish, maybe a little, I wouldn't say new age, but definitely traditional Irish instruments. And these are the photos with the actual signatures of the bands. As far as I can tell from online, these are not copied signatures, but these are actual signatures that the band members did on these photos. So I can't tell you, I'm sure it's got the names of the guys on there, but I'm not really familiar with them yet. And inside here is some printouts, fan club sheets, maybe that they had sent out, maybe some venues and information that had been sent out to places. I think it's mainly newsletters though. Some might give that a look later, but more important to the set is the lyric book, which you can see is a decent size. So apparently all the songs from their albums are in there. And then the more exhaustive and extensive historical book, which is going to be loaded with photos and just a write-up on the band, the history, and of course probably information about some of the live shows that show up in the CD set. Very heavy book, very heavy set. And then once again, I'm not gonna go through each and every one of those, but I believe there's 23 CDs, if I remember correctly, and then the 2 DVDs, which the DVDs are some live and some interviews, I believe, and just very extensive. And there you go. So those of you that are familiar with the band, I'm sure you could tell me a whole lot more about them. Those of you that maybe are into experiencing something new, especially 70s and 80s bands, that might be a band you might want to look into. If you're thinking about getting that set, you're going to want to get on it pretty quick, the next year or two. But of course, as they become more limited, prices probably shoot up. One thing I didn't mention, that set is from Madfish, which apparently comes out with a lot of sets, box sets. I haven't purchased any from them in the past, but I do have some records from Madfish, and I've always been happy with the quality of the pressing and also the layout. Believe I have some Wasp records from that company and some CDs, Porcupine Tree, and so great company. And if you're in the 60s and 70s rock, progressive stuff, you might want to look into that company if you're not familiar with them. So thank you for watching, and hope you all have a happy new year. And till next time, can't promise it'll be anytime soon, but if I have something worth sharing, I'll get back on here. Peace out.